Hey guys, it's me, I'm back, John. We're going to be reviewing Warcraft today.
Flick. Fanatics.
So, a little primer. I know next to nothing about Warcraft. I know of it. I know they made a few RTS games, and then they did World of Warcraft, and there's a lot of lore and mythology. I went opening night in IMAX 3D with two huge fans of the series, two players that invested hundreds of hours into every game. And in the theater, it was packed with like hardcore fans, so it was definitely an experience. But I'm gonna give you the plot summary in case you don't know. IMDb right here. The peaceful realm of Azeroth stands on the brink of war as its civilization faces a fearsome race of invaders, orc warriors, fleeing their dying home to colonize another. As a portal opens to connect the two worlds, one army faces destruction and the other faces extinction. From opposing sides, two heroes are set on a collision course that will decide the fate of their family, their people, and their home. That's a long summary, but it's pretty much accurate. The movie is good. It really has awesome visuals. They're phenomenal. I just, right off the bat, this should be up for Best Visuals for the Academy. I know they're not gonna because this movie's getting torn apart critically, but the substance isn't quite there. I think this movie relies too much on fans knowing the lore. There's a lot of stuff that just went right over my head. I was like, okay, I'm like connecting the dots, and I'm going, okay, so that guy's name is that, and they're doing this, and then we jumped from all these different locations, and it was actually quite humorous in the theater because there was all these, hardcore fans. Every time something from the game would come up, you just hear like, oh my god, it's and they're like pointing. So this movie has a lot of the game fan service, and that's very cool. I think that's cool when a movie can pay tribute to its source material and literally please millions and millions, because I know Blizzard has huge install bases with their games. I thought that was very cool. However, the writing to adapt to new audiences maybe isn't quite there. There's a lot of just assumptions. There's a lot of stuff that just happens without any prior setup. And I'm not full-blown expecting exposition here everywhere. And that's okay. I hate exposition. But there's like just these jumps where things are happening, and you're just like, wait, how do we get to this point? And like, what's going on here? There was just a few instances of that. Overall, though, it was super enjoyable. In IMAX 3D, it was crazy. It was one of the better IMAX 3D movies I've seen in a while. The sound design is really great. It's just this experience that you just get amped every time there's action. The action was really fun, really cool. I felt like every hit, every punch, every sword slice and stab and spell. And the costume design, from a filmmaking craft, this movie is great. From a story standpoint, it's pretty generic. Some of the acting is wooden. There are like a few decent, likable characters, and there's some genuinely funny moments that made me laugh out loud. However, most, I would say, of the human actors are kind of like dull, goes on, kind of bland, and that's kind of a problem, because you want to feel for both sides. I wanted to keep going back to the orcs. I'm like, let's get to the orcs, man. Every time they were on the screen, it was just cool just to see, obviously, the visual aesthetics and just their acting. Toby Kebbell, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Highly underrated mocap actor. He did Koba from the Planet of the Apes films, and then in this movie, he did a great job. He played the main orc, and he killed it. I wanted a whole movie just around him, So to wrap things up, I think it's a solid movie. I think it's fun. I think going in, you need to kind of expect more style over substance, and don't expect like a in-depth fantasy film quite like Lord of the Rings. Just expect like a fun, action-packed kind of romp with some cheesy characters, some kind of bland writing, and some just generic storytelling. That being said, despite all those cons, I had a lot of fun. Like I said, maybe it was the atmosphere, maybe it was the IMAX 3D, maybe it was the fans all opening night, getting hyped. But I would definitely want this to become a franchise, and I would love to see them do adaptations of either the games or stories in between. I think visually, like, this movie is amazing, and I think it's just a fun movie despite its flaws. I'm gonna give it a B minus. And I know it's like, whoa, that's pretty high, but I try to review movies based on what they're trying to be and what they accomplish, not so much what I want it to be. Thanks for watching, guys. Definitely comment. Let's get a conversation going. Do you play the Warcraft games? Do you care? Do you want to see the movie? Do you not give a crap about it? Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that nonsense. You can follow us on all of our different social media stuff. I'll put them up here. Thanks for watching. We got a lot more content coming. A couple short films. Day in the Life of Rick Danger, documentary. Got Dragon Boy, another documentary. And we also have my collection video, my Blu-ray collection video back there. It's coming. And more little reviews. And FFPP is returning our podcast. We're going to do in-depth discussions for the X-Men franchise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the new DC EU Extended Universe. So stay tuned for all that. And thanks, guys. See you later.